This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Guilty. A Lunenburg County mother pleads in a fatal impaired ATV crash that killed her infant daughter. Hometown hero. Nova Scotia rallies around soccer star Jacob Schaffelberg despite Canada's World Cup exit. And a Cape Breton man has turned thousands of these collected license plates into a unique roadside attraction.
Temperatures warming for Tuesday, but the humidity staying at bay. We'll have your full forecast details coming up.
Good evening. A surprising development today in the tragic case of an infant death. The girl's mother, Madison Elizabeth Parker, pleaded guilty to a single criminal charge during an appearance in provincial court in Bridgewater. The infant died when Parker crashed her all-terrain vehicle while impaired. The CBC's Blair Rhodes has the details.
Madison Parker was almost invisible behind a phalanx of family and friends as she went into court to plead guilty to a single charge of criminal negligence causing death. This was to be the start of a 4-day trial on 3 charges. Those other 2 charges will be dealt with when she is sentenced in September. The crash occurred in May of 2024. Parker was driving her 4x4 along a logging road near New Ross when it overturned. She and an adult in the vehicle were injured. Her infant daughter was taken to hospital where she subsequently died. A 4th child in the vehicle suffered minor injuries. Police said at the time that Parker's blood alcohol was twice the allowed limit. The case returns to court on September 17th. Blair Rhodes, CBC News, Bridgewater.
A man is dead after a motorcycle collided with a car in the Annapolis Valley over the weekend. The crash happened Saturday afternoon on School Street in Middleton. The 47-year-old motorcycle rider was pronounced dead at the scene. The 2 people in the car were unharmed. The cause is still under investigation. And a 28-year-old man from Spring Hill died Saturday evening after crashing his car near River Phillip. RCMP say he went off Highway 321 and hit a culvert. The driver was the only person in the vehicle. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Canadian Navy's new fleet of modern submarines will be built by a German company, and the new fleet will be supported by new maintenance facilities here in the Halifax region. Prime Minister Mark Carney made the highly anticipated announcement during a stop in Halifax today. The CBC's Evan Dyer has more.
In his speech today, Mark Carney emphasized the speed of this procurement, which is the largest defence contract in Canadian history and which also happened much faster than such purchases have occurred in the past, less than 2 years from the initial request for offers to the designation today of TKMS, the German-Norwegian consortium, as primary supplier. But he was also at pains to say that this was a fair competition. Canadian officials have shown that they don't want to alienate the Koreans, who they know will be disappointed by this decision. They say that both submarines met Canada's technical requirements, but the Germans offered a better economic package of benefits for Canada. They've talked about up to $84 billion in spending on jobs, infrastructure investment, procuring materials in Canada, and so on. So that also, they also checked a second box for Canada, which is the sort of strategic concern that Canada has of getting closer to Europe, of integrating itself more deeply into those European defence planning and procurement arrangements, which of course is something that South Korea can't offer. Of course, this is not a done deal. Today, the German-Norwegian consortium become the primary supplier, but many details remain to be worked out. And we heard the Prime Minister discuss also the process that's still ahead in those negotiations.
That process is commercially sensitive. And as always, we will not negotiate in public so as to maintain the strongest possible position for Canada. What I can confirm today is that we have already provisioned for the costs of purchasing these submarines in our fiscal framework.
Canadian officials have emphasized that if, for whatever reason, the talks on the contractual details with the German-Norwegian consortium don't go the way they hope, that they retain the option to go back to Hanwha Ocean and designate the Koreans as a primary supplier. The timing of this announcement is also very important, of course, because Prime Minister Carney now has something to take to the NATO summit in Ankara and show to Canada's allies. NATO Secretary General has said it's not enough simply to meet spending targets, which Canada has now done, countries are also expected to show that they're spending that money to acquire actual new capabilities. And by acquiring this fleet of submarines, Canada dramatically modernizes its navy, changes it into a much more underwater navy at the same time, and increases its ability to patrol and defend its own coastlines in a way it hasn't been able to do for decades. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Halifax.
The Department of National Defence says people in eastern Canada may see 4 Royal Canadian Air Force aircraft being transported along the Trans-Canada Highway this summer, and that could cause traffic delays. 4 CP-140 Aurora aircraft will gradually be moved from 14-wing Greenwood here in Nova Scotia to an aircraft recycling facility in Grenville, Quebec. DND says temporary traffic delays, lane closures, or brief road stoppages may occur during each trip to ensure the safe passage of the dismantled aircraft. And Ryan is here with the first look at the weather. So after all that heat, it's pretty fresh Monday.
Yeah, it definitely was fresh Sunday into Monday. And you know what? The humidity is going to remain at bay for a couple of days, but tracking it into the long range again. We'll talk about that in a second. High temperatures today. Pretty summer sweet, really. Low to mid 20s. I'm sure a few folks may be hoping for something a little bit warmer. And if you are, well, then Tuesday will probably catch your fancy as we can see temperatures in the mid to high 20s and likely even a few 30s, especially towards the north and east of the province. Looking pretty good at Cape Breton, also with the heat on for tomorrow. And the humidity, as I said, is not going to be a factor for tomorrow, adding a couple of degrees to what it feels like. As we can see here with the Muggy meter in that summer sweet, pretty pleasant range through Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the increase. The bump up on Thursday, starting to get into that mighty muggy range. But you remember last week we were at the top of this scale with those dew points 22 to 24. It will not get that muggy, but certainly more noticeable toward the end of the week. We'll talk about it with your 7-day coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, it was World Cup disappointment for Canada on Saturday with a loss to Morocco, but that didn't stop friends and family in Port Williams from rallying around their favorite player, hometown hero Jacob Schaffelberg.
So between us and Valley United and the local sponsors that you see around, we pulled all this together in a week, and I think that's the power of community, when everybody can rally around something like Jacob Schaffelberg, a great news story here in the Valley, a local Port Williams, the family's rooted here, and I think this is what it brings it together. This is what it's all about, and it's just an inspiration for our kids.
It was amazing just to see him to play on Team Canada, but to see him be on the World Cup roster and compete in a World Cup, it's a dream come true, and it's not even me.
It feels really cool. It shows that you can achieve anything no matter where you come from. I feel like proud of everybody in Nova Scotia and the Valley.
We're very excited for him. He's fulfilling his dream that he had ever since he was a little kid.
Well, he started when he was just a little guy, just to learn as soon as he could kick a ball, and there's a little soccer field behind the Port Williams Elementary School, and I used to go down at night and watch him kick the ball, and he was a good little runner right from the beginning.
Canada's never gone this far. This is uncharted territory. We played a number 6, I think, or 7 in the world.
Yeah, right. Like a top rank.
So yeah, I think they've really done themselves proud. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We couldn't be more proud of Canada. And our local boy?
I'm not that sad. I think that they did really well, and you just had to think of the positives. I'm kind of sad that we lost, but we didn't play bad. We were pretty strong, but the other team just won the game and did better. So I'm disappointed, but I think we played really well, and I thought we did really well in the whole tournament.
Love you, Jake. Love you.
Yes, I love you too, and it's bringing Nova Scotia all together, like it's making one big party for Nova Scotia.
Well, with World Cup fever in the air, King of Donaire is looking for some decades-old soccer mementos from their time on the pitch. The KOD Soccer Club was one of the most dominant soccer teams in Halifax for nearly 2 decades. Molly McNaughton has that story.
With all the buzz over the World Cup, an iconic Halifax restaurant is hoping former local soccer players will scour their closets for old jerseys. The King of Donair Soccer Club operated in the city for nearly 2 decades, dating back to the early 1980s. Now, the namesake restaurant wants to remind people of that history. They put a call out on social media to see what might be available.
Some people have been posting some photos of jerseys they own, which I'm not sure if they'll part with, which I don't blame them at all. I would hang on to those myself as well, but we've seen some cool clips, old newspaper articles and people sharing their stories in the DMs and on posts and comments, so that's been cool to see.
If he can convince people to part with their mementos, Nahas hopes to display them in the store. Each piece of memorabilia tells a story, like the jersey worn by former KOD player Mike Hasek. It still fits 25 years after he wore it as he led the team to victory in the 2001 National Championship game.
Mike Hasek put another between the posts to make it 3-0.
It was a challenging Nationals, but when it came down to that final, we had a real quiet confidence about us. We knew we were ready. We were playing British Columbia, which is a premier province when it comes to soccer here in Canada, and we were just ready. And I think the final score was 4-1, and we brought home Nova Scotia's first ever gold medal, male or female.
The club folded in 2002, but Hasek's 2001 team was eventually inducted into the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame. Angelo Cianfelione played for KOD as well, and at one point was the club's president. He already donated some of his jerseys to the restaurant a few years back and has nothing left to hand over. But he's happy for the chance to revive the special memories.
Our goal was always to win and make friendships. From the start of the club, we, multinational team. We had players pretty much from every country, and we put players on the national screen, right? Like we had some players that went on to play professional soccer.
And just looking at some of the pictures, you can see in the faces how close we are, how happy we are. And to be honest, a lot of that's continued on into today's world. The text groups during the World Cup is all King of Donair text groups, So it's a real close group and continues to be a close group.
So, given all that, will he trade mementos of his prime time on the pitch for a free Donair?
We'll see. We might have to negotiate, but we'll see.
Molly McNaughton, CBC News, Halifax.
A Cape Breton man's hobby has turned into a roadside attraction. Thousands of license plates nailed up to the trees beside a home in French Cove. The CBC's Anna Rack went to take a look.
Alabama, they're from Germany, they're from, I don't know, they're from everywhere.
It's the kind of thing that stops drivers in their tracks. Thousands of license plates nailed to the trees along the side of this Cape Breton highway. Leo Murray has been collecting plates for about 20 years. He now has well over 3,000 plates. For him, it's just a hobby.
2 old cars I have when I bought the property, and that's where it started. It kept going from there.
Murray says people stop daily to visit the license plate forest, and he says people are welcome to stop and take a look.
As long as you take pictures and don't take my plate, you're good.
It's kind of my civic address. I tell people 7863 across the road from all the license plates. Can't miss me.
Neighbors say they're used to people stopping by at the local art installation, which even includes more than a dozen antlers that animals have shed naturally in the nearby forest.
Sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day, there's people at the end of my driveway taking pictures.
And so they block your driveway sometimes, but does it bother you that much?
No, not at all. I just tell people you to do what you have to do and drop off license plates next time by.
Many of the license plates are incredibly old and have rusted out, but Murray is fond of each and every one.
I had lots of people ask me to tell them, but no, not for sale, not to give away. What's the other one is? We took her out.
Sometimes people drop off plates at his home, but most of them Murray finds himself at the junkyard.
Just some collection.
Wow, and then it just grew from there. You just kept doing it.
Kept doing it, yeah. I was going to go get some more today.
So the collection will keep on growing and keep on bringing curious passerbys to the forest. Anna Rack, CBC News, French Cove.
There's a lighthouse birdhouse in Herring Cove. Ryan is up next with the full weather forecast. We're back after the break. And we've got Ryan back with his full forecast. I love looking at your humidity chart. It just goes up and then it just crashes down.
Yeah, so it's here for a good time, not a long time. This time around, Thursday into Friday is when it's going to start to really peak again. But as I said earlier, not that soupiness that we had last week, which was really high, and the humidity was, relentless. Let's first and foremost have a look at our time lapse. You know, we're into the heart of tourism season, and you can see there's the beautiful Blue Nose too. And yeah, it's Lunenburg is a busy spot. Blue Nose goes out for a little spin there this morning, and then back in again. But boy, tons of people obviously flocking to Lunenburg these days. There's a tour bus comes through at one point, and just hundreds, if not thousands, of people strolling in there through that beautiful community throughout the day. A little quieter there now, but still lots of folks milling about, and it's a pretty nice evening. Thanks to Nova Scotia webcams for that. 19 in Lunenburg right now. 25 in through Kentville and Greenwood. We've got 21 downtown Halifax, 23 in Antigonish, 22 in Sydney, 20 in Yarmouth. And as we look at the Humidex, yeah, not a factor today. So that's the good news. Really not adding a whole lot in terms of what it feels like. In most cases, not much at all. Current winds, yeah, they've been light today, which has been nice. A little bit of a breeze, but it's been pretty summer sweet out there, no question. We've had a little bit of cloud cover fanning over southwestern Nova this afternoon, and that area of high pressure, though, keeping things pretty quiet. Rain just to our south over Cape Cod, but that is, again, being blocked by this area of high pressure, so staying dry here for now. This low will skirt just to our south and may throw a shower into the mix for Wednesday, as it is going to be fairly close, but as you'll see with the model outlook, it does look like it's going to remain, for the most part, just offshore. As we look at the high temperatures, a little cool out west right now, though. Vancouver up to 23, 23 in Regina, 24 in Iqaluit, 17 in St. John's, and 24, as we said, in and around the Halifax area. As we look at the outlook for tonight, we're going to be seeing light winds at temperatures that are going to be ranging between around 10 and 14 for most cases. Could see a few pockets in low-lying areas that dip a bit cooler than that. We'll see some fog patches developing across the mainland as we work our way throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning. You'll note, again, cloud cover just a little bit over the southwest part of the province, thanks to this system passing just to our south of this frontal boundary, rather. And then into the afternoon, that cloud cover maybe a little bit pushing a little bit further inland, but overall, a mix of sun and cloud across the mainland. I think we're going to call it a mainly sunny day across Cape Breton for tomorrow. Bit of high cloud cover in the mix at times, but temperatures ranging between 24 and 28. And when you factor in the humidity, it will be feeling more like 26 to 30, really not a factor for tomorrow, which is great. 27 Antigonish, note a little bit of a sea breeze there. Obviously, eastern shore is going to be a bit cooler with a bit of a west to southwest flow for tomorrow. So cooler temps along the Atlantic coastline will be into the mid to high 20s for inland areas, especially towards Truro and up towards Pictou County. In and around Cobequid Bay, it'll be beautiful tomorrow. Nice day through Yarmouth. Beautiful day along that south shore, though. Watch that sea breeze coming in. Water temperatures are warming slowly but surely. As you saw there earlier, the Strait up to around 17 degrees, but yeah, obviously cooler where that Labrador current comes down that Atlantic coastline. Now, as we look ahead to Wednesday, there's that system I just mentioned. There it is. Could see a few showers into the mix. Yarmouth along that south shore. Halifax along the coastline could see a few spotty showers Wednesday afternoon. But it's looking more and more likely that that system is going to hold just to the south. But I do still have the shower chances in. Putting it at about a 40% chance right now that will move in. But looking more likely than not, it stays just off the coast, which we'll keep you posted on that. As we work our way into Thursday, frontal boundary, another one starting to work its way in from the north. That will start to increase our humidity through Thursday into Friday. You can see we're into the mighty muggy, truly tropical range, but then crashing pretty quickly again and not peaking nearly as high as it did last week. It looks like as that front comes through late Friday, or I should say Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and into the overnight, that'll be our best chances for showers. A lingering chance for Saturday, but generally a clear out as we work our way into the weekend, Amy.
It all looks good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Some woodlot owners on PEI are trying to figure out what smells spruce bark beetles like. The insects have been taking a toll on spruce trees in the province since post-tropical storm Fiona. Now, a researcher wants to figure out why the trees are so appealing for the beetles. The CBC's Nancy Russell reports.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
These islanders are helping with new research on spruce bark beetles. The insects have been ravaging spruce trees across the island since post-tropical storm Fiona.
Trees started turning orangey brown in the fall, and then the next year I think it was confirmed that we were having an outbreak of spruce bark beetle.
The trees were weakened, shaken to death, in many cases actually literally to death, and certainly weakened.
Scientists say Fiona was the catalyst for years of damage that have followed.
The trees then emit pheromones that maybe bring in beneficial insects, but also attract a lot of insects that are opportunists, and they know what's up and they come in for a feed.
The woodlot owners heard about research being done elsewhere in the Maritimes about spruce bark beetle by a researcher in New Brunswick. He agreed to include PEI with their help.
Well, I guess there's variation in the beetles, I've been told, so that in different areas, some pheromones are more effective than others. So they wanted to find out what our beetles on PEI were most attracted to. And they'll be able to use that in the future for monitoring.
There are 40 traps in total here on Trudy White's land, and they're trying 4 different pheromones.
We're just hoping that they can become much more bullseye oriented in terms of trapping the beetles, so you're not wasting a lot of time putting a lure in that really doesn't work.
They say it's the first step to getting a clearer picture of what is happening here on PEI with the spruce bark beetles.
I think it might give indications of population trends, so they might be able to use it to see if there's another outbreak coming another time, if populations are going up.
It can only be a good thing to be able to know what's happening on the ground at any given time.
They say the bigger lesson, especially for woodlot owners like themselves, is finding a way to make PEI forests less vulnerable to pests like the spruce bark beetle, as more extreme weather conditions are predicted to continue. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Iris.
Coming up, we'll hear the results of a study on water contamination in the town of Shelburne. Shelburne recently released the results of a study of the water in the town's south end. It's an area near a former dump site located next to an historic Black community. The question of what's in the water has raised issues of environmental racism. For more on this, we're joined by Shelburne CAO Sarah Matitall. So first off, what does the report say about the water in the south end of Shelburne?
Actually, Dillon Consulting, their assessment is probably the most thorough testing that has ever been done on this site to date. They did groundwater, surface water, soil, and voltaring testing at nearby homes. But what's really important is that these results aren't a one-off. They're consistent actually with a 1988 provincial well review, as well as with a 2018 testing that was completed by Rural Water Watch and NSCC Applied Research that had partnered with SEED at the time. And then again, we had results from testing that was done in 2019 as well as 2021, all completed and led by Rural Water Watch. So across several years, they had used different labs, different researchers, and the pattern is actually the same. So there's naturally occurring minerals in the groundwater, but those environmental engineers and specialists, they had provided that there is no indication of off-site contamination from the landfill.
Now, what about the dump itself? I understand there's an issue with the cap on it. Where does that stand?
Yeah, so we were presented with a FOIPOP back in 2021, and through that FOIPOP process, the administration at the time were doing a lot of research to respond to the FOIPOP, and due to that, we actually found out that the cap was not suffice to what the standards are today. So to my knowledge, the cap from 1998 that was put on the site, it was the standards of that era. I do know from doing some research myself through the council, past council minutes, our historical minutes, that the province at the time, they didn't have the regulations in place. They were working on the regulations, but they weren't complete. So our council had approached the province and asked the cap that they were going to do if that was sufficient. And from what I understand, to my knowledge, that was approved, even though the regulations hadn't been enforced. But of course, when we were doing our research, like I said, in 2021, we determined that that actually wasn't the standard for today, because obviously the standards changed throughout the years. So since that FOIPOP in 2021, council and administration have been working diligently on moving this process forward. That's why we've been engaged with Dillon Consulting from back then.
Now, what about concerns there might be a link to the high rates of cancer in nearby residents?
I know that that's been a fear for our community, or for some community members, for many, many years now. So because that was a fear of our community, or what we've been hearing from our community, we want to reach out ourselves to the Canadian Cancer Society, and the Canadian Cancer Society put us in contact with the Nova Scotia Nova Scotia Health Cancer Care Program. And I have the documentation here in front of me, and this is what I had read verbatim in our town hall that we hosted on June 24th. And it says here that Nova Scotia's Health Cancer Care Program operates the Nova Scotia Cancer Registry for the province. Cancer has been a mandatory reportable disease since 1964. Nova Scotia Health does not have population data for the south end of Shelburne, so we cannot give, so that this was the cancer care program, they cannot give the cancer rates for that area. They can share the data for the whole town, and they said that overall cancer rates in Shelburne are similar to the rest of the province, with one exception, of course. They mentioned bladder cancer. They said bladder cancer rates are higher than average for men and women combined in 2001, 2006, 2011, and 2016. No other cancer for the town of Shelburne was higher than the provincial average. They did say also that the risk factors for bladder cancer include smoking and certain jobs like painting, firefighting, and factory work, some chemicals, radiation, certain medicines, arsenic, and some infections. Though they did state, and I'm reading this verbatim, that these factors are not directly linked to landfills. They did say that they had, there was a study that was completed in general on landfills, and they found higher risk for some cancers, but that was pancreas, liver, prostate, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma near landfill sites. But these cancers are not higher than expected in our Shelburne community.
Well, what about the latest efforts to get a community well?
Yeah, so Seed is actually they're leading the project, and they have worked. They're working with myself, so I should say the town of Shelburne, as well as with the municipality district of Shelburne. The well is going to be located at the NSCC, which is in the jurisdiction of the municipality district of Shelburne, and eventually they will take over that ownership and will maintain the operating costs, and the town will support the operation of the well through lending support with our water operator, and we'll be doing the testing for the well at that time. And I believe right now the Seed community well is it's being held up right now with just some provincial funding, and that's being worked on with the working group, and we're hoping to see this well come to fruition in the spring of 2027.
All right, well, thank you very much for walking us through this. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Coming up, Russia unleashed waves of missiles at Ukraine, killing at least 21 people a day ahead of a NATO summit in Turkey. And amid a string of thrilling knockout FIFA matches, an ugly controversy has erupted off the pitch involving the U.S. president. Welcome back. A top U.S. soccer player is joining his team to face off against Belgium at the World Cup, something that many soccer fans are crying foul about. That's because the player had been suspended, but the decision reversed. And the U.S. president now admits he called the head of FIFA about the suspension himself. Steve Futterman is in Seattle, where the American team is playing Belgium.
It's a controversy that has overtaken the World Cup. It involves a much disputed red card issued against America's top scorer and a highly unusual reversal of a suspension. And stuck right in the middle of it is Donald Trump.
Mr. President.
Today at the White House, Trump said the red card issued last week against America's top scorer, Flo Balogun, was unjust. Yesterday, FIFA suspended the suspension, invoking Article 27, which allows FIFA's disciplinary committee to delay enforcement of a suspension. But what's caused the biggest furor is the revelation that Trump last week called FIFA's president to ask for a review. Today, Gianni Infantino in a statement said, yes, Trump did call, but he said there were no promises. Infantini said he told Trump there was an ongoing process involving FIFA's independent judicial bodies. Belgium officials have called FIFA's actions astounding, saying it goes against FIFA's own regulations. Here in Seattle, it comes down pretty much to which team you're rooting for. American fans, obviously a bit biased, seem to support the decision.
Surprised, I was on my way here in the airport and I saw the news. I thought it was a hoax, but I was so happy to hear and to confirm that he's playing. This is great. We need him.
Never thought that would happen. Seems a little weird, but excited to have him back, I guess.
It's deserved. He did not deserve a red card, so it's fantastic. Changes the game. Belgium should be scared.
Belgium did file a final appeal, but this morning it was ruled inadmissible, paving the way for Balogun to play. But this has put a taint on the World Cup, and if the U.S. advances, it's likely to get only worse. Steve Futterman, CBC News at the World Cup in Seattle.
Russia's war on Ukraine is expected to be a main topic this week at a NATO summit. Prime Minister Mark Carney and other leaders are gathering Tuesday in Turkey. As Anna Cunningham tells us, Russia is keeping up the pressure on Ukraine's capital.
This was a heavy night of attacks on Kyiv, hour after hour. Russian drones and missiles seen and heard breaching Ukraine's air defences. There were huge explosions lighting up the night sky. Emergency services worked to rescue those trapped in buildings hit, and the damage is clearly visible. Survivors are in shock, confused as to how they escaped alive. This intense night of airstrikes from Russia comes just before the start of a NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey. It is perhaps a sign from the top in Russia that it can still thwart Ukraine's air defences 4 years into this war. Ukraine is hoping that allies within NATO will increase military aid to maximise the protection of Ukraine's skies. President Volodymyr Zelensky posting this on social media, saying, as long as Patriot missiles remain in our allies' stockpiles, Russia is only encouraged to keep vanquishing residential buildings. The United States and Europe have enough strength to stop this terror. The EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen today indicating what the focus will be of this NATO summit. She says Ukraine urgently needs more air defence. We will discuss it this week in Ankara at the NATO summit. We know the US President Donald Trump is expected to attend this NATO summit, and he's previously been criticised for flip-flopping on this war. Peace talks have long since faltered. And today, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov insisting that President Trump has been consistent. There are others who will certainly disagree with that view. With Zelensky's focus on the supply of interceptors for its Patriot defence system, this latest NATO summit is likely to want to deliver him answers. He will be hoping that their response can aid Ukraine in a way that avoids such devastating nighttime attacks as there was last night. Anna Cunningham, CBC News, London.
The streets of Iran's capital were flooded with hundreds of thousands of people Monday, many of them calling for the death of U.S. President Donald Trump. It happened during the funeral procession for Iran's former leader, who died during the opening hours of the U.S.-led war on Iran. The CBC's Margaret Evans has more.
Day 3 of Iran's long farewell to the slain supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, killed in a U.S.-Israeli attack over 4 months ago now. His coffin and those of family members killed alongside him mourn through Tehran's streets, crowded with loyal supporters, anxious to get close, many overcome with grief. I didn't cry this much for my own father, says Fatima Mohammadi. I was not as upset as I am for the leader. Iranian authorities have framed the week-long funeral as a referendum on the Islamic Republic, a spectacle they say will draw millions in a show of unity. But Iran is anything but united, a country of more than 90 million people, where those opposed to the rule of the clerics will be staying home. Their options for open dissent extremely limited in the wake of brutal crackdowns on anti-government protesters. The only thing that can ease our pain, says this activist in Tehran, whose identity we're protecting, is the complete overthrow of the Islamic Republic. The funeral has allowed a pause in negotiations between Iran and the United States. Opposition to those talks was on display amongst pro-regime supporters, some calling instead for revenge. Cracks within the regime appearing, says analyst Ali Ansari.
It doesn't bode well, I think, for what's going to happen in the next few weeks.
On Sunday, 3 of Khamenei's sons appeared at his funeral, throwing into sharp relief the ongoing absence of his 4th, Mojtaba, Iran's new supreme leader, injured in the attack that killed his father and still yet to be seen in public. Khamenei is set to be buried in his hometown of Mashhad on Thursday. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
The early summer heat wave that's been scorching much of Europe is now causing another dangerous problem: wildfires. Hundreds of firefighters are trying to contain multiple fires on the Iberian Peninsula, as well as in Greece and in the south of France. A large wildfire there has prompted the Tour de France to ban fans from the end of the race's 3rd stage. High temperatures and strong winds fueling the flames are not expected to let up before the end of the week. Monsoon rains are creating chaos in parts of India. They follow unusually dry conditions last month. The CBC's Susan Ormiston reports from Mumbai.
Just look at this mess. There were 200 trees that fell in Mumbai on Sunday alone, and workers are trying to clean up the mess as more are falling. Last week, a big tree fell on a school bus and killed 11-year-olds. Late Sunday night, a 4-story building just collapsed, crashing on top of an adjoining shanty. The Maharashtra state minister said that 6 people, including 4 children, were killed, buried in that rubble. Schools and colleges in Mumbai are closed today as authorities try to deal with all this pooling water as well as the winds. There's been lashing rain and strong winds in this city for the last 6 days straight. More than 100 millimeters of rain a day. South Mumbai faced a day of punishing rain on Saturday with 265 millimeters in 24 hours, breaking a 50-year-old record for rain in one day. Transport is severely disrupted. 2 major highways connecting Mumbai to Pune, an IT hub, are closed this morning because of landslides. This man in Pune says children were stuck under collapsed trees, but there was no one around to help them. We're struggling to rescue them, he said. July is typically the wettest month during the monsoon, but in much of India, the rains came late this year. So meteorologists are predicting that the forecast for the next few months will be below the annual average, which is a concern when you consider that India gets up to 85% of its rain and precipitation during the monsoon months. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Mumbai.
It seems that nothing is simple when it comes to Prince Harry. The King's youngest son has landed in London, but as the CBC's Chris Brown tells us, his accommodation plans have officially unraveled.
No one royal actually lives at Buckingham Palace anymore. The King's home is at nearby Clarence House, so letting Prince Harry and maybe his family crash in one of 52 royal bedrooms while they visit London seemed to make sense. Only things fell apart Monday. The palace's version of events is that Prince Harry missed a Friday deadline to accept the invitation. Harry's side tells a different story, that the invitation was actually withdrawn. The palace statement emphasized it takes time to prepare for guests, and Harry didn't accept in time.
Prince Harry, has your evidence...
But another possible explanation is that on Tuesday, a UK judge will deliver a high-profile verdict in a case against the owners of the Daily Mail newspaper. Harry and others have long accused the paper of using illegal tactics such as voicemail hacking to gather stories. And this royal commentator says maybe the king decided having Harry at the palace during the verdict might be seen as interfering.
We're hearing that his concerns over his constitutional position within the judiciary are potentially impacting having Harry stay at the palace.
Harry's relationships with the senior royals, especially his brother William, have been in the deep freeze since he and Meghan moved to the U.S. and published a tell-all book. This Canadian tourist sees it as a sad family tragedy, especially for Harry.
I'm sure he's all right. But he probably misses his dad. I mean, I'm sure he'd want to see his father.
This was a story that did, on the face of it, seem like it could maybe be quite a positive story about the king meeting two of his grandchildren for the first time in 4 years, and sort of moving towards reconciliation, but it's now sort of become the opposite of that.
Harry is still coming to the UK to promote the Invictus Games, which he founded, but beyond that, not a lot is clear, including whether Meghan and the children will come too, not to mention where everyone will stay. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Astronaut Jeremy Hansen has announced his retirement from the Canadian Space Agency. The 50-year-old from London, Ontario, was part of the Artemis II crew that made an historic trip around the moon in April. Hansen says he'll be leaving his position at the CSA in September after 17 years to pursue new professional opportunities. He posted on X saying, "This is far from a departure. My commitment to seeing Canada thrive remains absolute." And that to ensure continuity in this mission, the Royal Canadian Air Force is enabling my transition into a reservist role. He says the position will allow him to support Canada's space work, and he's excited for the new challenges it will bring. Well, Canada's main stock index finished in the negative territory on Monday, weighed down by losses in the basic materials sector, while U.S. markets gained ground. Here's a look at the numbers as we go to break. And we are back, and it was such a nice weekend, even a little hot on Saturday, but I'm sure lots of folks were out taking photos.
Yeah.
Your mailbag filling up?
Mailbox is, there's no shortage of pics coming in the summertime. Absolutely.
Yeah, February, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's good. Let's have a look at our viewer picture of the day, and we are going to zoom in on beautiful Salt Marsh Trail. Not exactly sure. There's a long trail where that was taken along the trail, but Janice Young with this great pic. Nice daisies there. Yeah, absolutely. Nice day, and perhaps this was taken on one of those muggy days where Salt Marsh Trail is a pretty good spot to be. Popular, I know, that down that neck of the woods is it's definitely folks love to get some relief. Now, as we look at the forecast for tomorrow, looking at temps in the mid to high 20s, maybe a couple 30s, especially up towards Pictou County and into Colchester County as well. Looking really, really nice, though. We'll look at the winds from the west to southwest tomorrow, and it is going to be pretty nice with the low humidity. Now, for Wednesday, we're going to see the clouds kicking up a little bit. We'll see a chance for some showers, Yarmouth County, Shelburne County, Queens County in particular, but it does look like even there, it's looking like less and less of a chance as that system is looking more likely to slide just offshore. But a risk nonetheless. And then you can see for Thursday, back to a sun cloud mix, but the mugginess is going to really climb towards the end of the week. But it does look like some relief moving back in from the mugginess for the weekend. But temperature's not taking too much of a hit. So yeah, still hanging on to the mid-20s through the weekend.
Definitely summer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a hero's welcome for Cape Verde's national soccer team. Crowds lined the country's capital to cheer on the players as they arrived back from the World Cup. The underdogs made an historic run to the round of 32. They were defeated on Friday, but not before pushing out reigning champions Argentina and putting them into extra time.
The team representing the nation of 500,000 became a favorite for millions of fans for their performance and grit on the pitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.